Welcome back to Let's Tab 59. So where am I today? Well, I'm in Shorncliffe, Folkestone in Kent, and I'm at Sir John Moore Barracks, just outside Sir John Moore Barracks. It's currently the home of the 2nd Battalion, the Gurkha Rifles. You can just see the sign behind me there. I'll swing you around, we'll talk a little bit about this, and I'll try and get round part of the old garrison and show you different parts of the camps and some of the transit camps that might bring back memories for some of you. As you know, let's just switch you around a second. As you know, this at one time was the Junior Leaders Infantry Battalion here at Shorncliffe. There's the current guard room, etc. down. I'm not going to go right up and stick my camera in the front of the guard, etc. But that's the main entrance currently to Sir John Moore Barracks. So I say I'm going to go around the garrison. You can see a lot of new houses here. This is the old road coming out of the camp. All these houses here. I'm not sure if these are married quarters now, because it was all just part of the camp, I suppose, before, or whether they're private housing, so I'm not sure. I'll try and find out as I go around if I can ask somebody. But obviously when this was Junior Leaders Infantry Battalion, there wasn't a great need for a lot of married quarters, because obviously the young soldiers that were here were just single soldiers going through Junior Leaders Infantry training. Once that finished and Junior Leaders become the foundation college, was moved up to Catterick, the Argyll and Southern Highlanders moved in here in the 90s, and then they moved on to Canterbury, I think, and then back up to Edinburgh. Camp was empty for a while, got refurbished, and then it became the home of the Gurkha Infantry. So 1st Battalion, 2nd Battalion rotate through between here, Shorncliffe and Brunei. And of course, a lot of the Gurkhas were married, big battalion. They needed more married quarters. There wasn't enough here. The overspill went over to Dover, into Burgoyne Heights, near Connaught Barracks, where the last battalion there was the 1st Battalion Parachute Regiment. And so they've built here a lot more housing, and I believe that a lot of these are married quarters around here. So let's move on now towards what was Napier Barracks, and I think it was used as a migrant camp. We'll go up there and have a look. So, Napier Barracks is what I'm looking at now. You can see that, sorry about the noise in the background, got some workers doing something. So this is Napier Barracks, still in Shorncliffe, obviously, just round the corner from John Moore Barracks. Was a transit camp, and recently it's been used as a migrant camp. I don't know if it's still being used as a migrant camp, but that's what it was very recently. Apart from that noisy lawnmower that's in there, I can't see a lot of activity. So Napier Barracks, just out of interest, was also one of the staging posts for troops right back in the 1800s, before they went out to the Zulu campaigns in Africa. Now, anyone that was stationed here, any veterans, you might remember that right near Napier Barracks was the old garrison church, and this garrison church has been here for some time, and it's now been sold over as the Tower Theatre.
Excuse me.
So let me just talk to this lady a moment.
Yes, sorry. This is.
Well, as I was saying, that was the garrison church. I've got to move off because it's now private. It's now part of the Tower Theatre group. It was sold off not long after the Gurkhas got it. I'll move around now to show you some more of the garrison. Right, so apologies for that last bit. I was trespassing apparently. It's now civilian owned, that old garrison church. It's like I say, it's a Tower Theatre. So now I'm up at the top end of Sir John Moore Barracks. There's an old gymnasium there, part of the old Junior Leaders, when that was Junior Leaders Infantry. That's one of the only buildings standing on this side. The rest of the camp appears to be taken over by housing, new housing. And like I say, I'm not sure if this new housing is all married quarters or whether it's private housing. It looks like Wimpy, the builders, are doing it. Still a water tank there, you can see the state of the old gymnasium now. I can remember when that was running and functioning. I'm sure some of you veterans that were here might remember that as well at the time. And there's the old water tank next to it. So this is the old perimeter fence. It still is a perimeter fence really. Sir John Moore Barracks. It's in a bit of a sorry state of affairs. It's definitely been redeveloped. The old water tower, I remember having to abseil off of that years ago when I was stationed here. I came here in '94 and I was down at Risborough Barracks, which is completely gone now, and is again been developed for housing. So now I know this part that we're coming up to where the water tower is part of Sir John Moore Barracks, is where the Gurkhas are, and I can see the MT square just over there. Hospital Hill, some of you may well remember Hospital Hill on the edge of Sir John Moore Barracks. So this is the start of Hospital Hill down there. Now, back during the Second World War, certainly, just down the road here, round that corner, on the right hand side, was a military hospital. A lot of casualties were brought back, some even from D-Day. When we moved down to Shorncliffe Cemetery, which is where I'm parked at the moment, I'll take you down to the cemetery. There's a lot of Canadian graves down there, and every day they have Canada Day there to remember the fallen from Canada. And I'd say a lot of those casualties were evacuated back from D-Day, brought to the hospital just down there, and then obviously those that died of their wounds were, in fact, let's walk down a bit further, see if I can show some of the camp before we go back towards the cemetery. So as I say then, with the Commonwealth War graves, we'll go up and have a look at that momentarily. So, switch you back round so you can see the camp rather than my ugly mug. So there's still, that's the MT square over there, into the Napier Station there. These buildings here, I remember when I was here in '94 time, we had an MI section, the intelligence section were based here. I'm not sure what's in there now. So I was here in '94 as a sergeant instructor, and then I was here in '99 to 2006 as a W01 admin warrant officer with 2 Brigade Specialist Training Team, and I might even do something on that a bit later on. So anyone that's watching this was in the Junior Leaders Infantry Battalion back in the day at Sir John Moore Barracks here will recognise this as the old front gate, or side gate if you like, to the Junior Leaders Battalion Barracks, Sir John Moore Barracks. Often come out of these gates, like I say, come down there, down Hospital Hill towards Sandgate, run along a beach maybe, and then back up. So that's the old gate entrance, you might remember. Right, we'll move down now. I can just hear in the background the bagpipes actually, in the drums. Probably won't pick that up on the camera, it's a shame, I can just hear it in the background. So that sign over there saying Army and Sir John Moore Barracks, that did have a plaque on it before saying Junior Leaders Infantry Battalion, obviously long gone. So we'll go round now to the Commonwealth War graves and take a look at that. So here we are at the Shorncliffe Cemetery gates, just coming into the cemetery. Looks like there's a lot of work going on there. I've seen the Commonwealth War graves works vehicle just outside. That's just a little brief map of the cemetery. We're going to go down now and have a look around and show you a bit more. So that's a good angle to get a shot of the cemetery itself. You can see all the war graves there, and let's say they go right back and right up to date as well. There's lads here from Iraq and from Afghanistan. Let's see what we can find as we go further down. There's a trace around, just going to put some flowers down for my sister, who's buried here, or her ashes are buried here rather. She's lived with us. She was working at the garrison at brigade headquarters, actually at 2 brigade headquarters. She was a padre's assistant up until her death in 2006. So it's going to put a lot of work going on at the moment. There's a lot of vehicles here, so I'm sure these lawnmowers and that are going to start up again soon, and I'll finish it. Oh, here we go. So along here, there's a lot of old veterans have their ashes put down here. You can see some of these. Royal Army Medical Corps. So we've got a Gurkha there. A few Gurkhas there by the looks. Up where that gentleman's working over there, there's some Chinese graves, and they were Chinese labourers. They died of a tropical disease at the hospital. When I showed you before, Hospital Hill, the hospital was actually behind where those trees we were looking at now. It's where the hospital was, and they died here in the hospital of a tropical disease, and they're buried up there together. There's about 8 of them, I think. So this is the main memorial, as in all Commonwealth war graves. And as I said before, this is where they hold Canada Day every year, because there is rather a lot of Canadian lads buried here from the Second World War. In fact, if I turn around here, these are from the First World War actually. This guy here, see with the maple leaf, 17th Battalion Canadian, I can't read that, 8th July 1916. Another guy, Canadian lad next to him. So there's quite a few Canadian graves just along here. In fact, this whole row I'm going along now, that's all Canadian. The road to the front here, these are all Canadian lads, all from First World War. So I'm pretty sure they would have come back from France then and been in the hospital, maybe died of wounds here. Maybe that's what happened. So that's all Canadian pretty much. Along there, these last few guys here at the front, Canadian infantry. So look at this guy here. Yeah, I can read a little bit better. 180th Battalion Canadian Infantry. Another one there, 76th, 75th Battalion Canadian Infantry. So these Canadian guys watching this, hopefully that's of interest to you guys. Age 23, 31st December 1917. So I say that block there, pretty much all Canadian lads from the First World War. And if I go across the other side, there's all Canadian graves here too. You see the maple leaf on all these gravestones here, Canadian lads. That's what I say, hence they have Canada Day every year here. It's celebrated. Right, I'm going to wrap this up now. This is pretty much nothing else I can show you from Shorncliffe Garrison without getting told off by irate women. So I'll cut my losses and pull out of here. I'll try and do some more. Another video down this area maybe before I get back to Lincolnshire. I'm going back tomorrow. So, hope that's been of some interest for you troops. Till the next time, from Shorncliffe Cemetery. Very sad place, but very beautiful place. Less tab.